I think I'm getting it. The more I do it,
You
the
think you're
better.
getting it. You're finally getting the hang of it.
Well,
After the first episode where we had to say that, where there was like 5 stumbles, I think.
Well, the thing is, listen, you know how much I had to read for that one?
Yeah.
Right.
I had to
That was my
read like
fault, too.
a
Yeah.
paragraph that took up like my whole phone.
And really, if it was broken up how it should have been, it
And
would've been 2
Herb wrote it,
paragraphs.
which is why I
Yeah,
said pivot
and then-
contest.
Both of you
the
can suck
pivot,
it.
the pivot contest. All right. Well, we aren't alone this week, as you guys know if you follow us on Twitter. The guys from Oct Productions are joining us today. So Tim and Sean, hello.
What's going on, guys? Hey, happy to be here.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for joining. We tweeted out who wants to come on the podcast in 2019. Who do you guys want to see us talking to? And they reached out to us and wanted to come on, and we were glad to do it. If you guys see anything that they do, it's pretty cool stuff. We're going to talk about it right now. So without further ado, let's kind of jump into it. I think most people know, and it's your pinned tweet, that you guys did the Pittsburgh from above video with a drone. So
Yeah.
talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so that was kind of a summer-long project myself and one of the other guys on the team were up to. Basically, we started filming that in, like, May, and we would go out, 2-3 times a week, get shots above Pittsburgh. Yeah, I mean, it was good. It was it was an interesting one to do because first of all, he didn't know how much he was even allowed to fly the drone over the city. And so we were sort of we were just sort of trying to do it and see when they told us to stop with that. But it was all fine. It was all good. And it was pretty cool because we actually got to talk to Dave DiCello about it. He does a lot of Pittsburgh photography.
Right, yeah.
He saw it. He was a big fan of it. And that was pretty cool that he saw it. Yeah, so that was a cool project. And it's one of those things where we try to do a lot of short video clips, kind of like Dave DiCello posts out, like photographs of Pittsburgh. We try to do unique camera angles and, once a month get like a really cool looking aerial shot of the city. And we just try to get some content out like that.
Right, yeah, it's really cool. I mean, that kind of blew up, much like the next thing we want to talk about, the Ice the Kicker video, which just actually recently came to my attention.
That was hilarious. I thought.
Thank you.
You showed us that. You showed us that, right?
Yeah. I showed it to you guys last week.
I thought
think.
that was hilarious.
I showed it to you guys last week because like when him and I were talking about them coming on, I went to their page and I just like found that tweet and I was like, how did I not see this before?
Yeah.
So I mean I've watched it probably every day since I first saw it, but I saw that it came to Pat McAfee's attention too, which is of course. But so talk about that video a little bit.
Yeah, totally. So, one of the things we try to do when we're brainstorming ideas is we try to think of, witty content, kind of like Vine, like the short 5 to 10 second videos. So the whole icing the kicker concept came to my mind. The whole icing concept has been really big recently, especially around like the Barstool community. So it was one of those ideas that was actually initially intended for a Vine. We wanted to make just like a short 5 to 10-second video, and I did a quick search and I was like, wow, no one's actually like made a video like this before. Like it was kind of hard to believe. So then when we were going through like the process of writing it, we realized that it would be 10 times funnier if we actually made it into like a football like situation. Mm-hmm. So we got 5 or 6 of our buddies. The hard part was trying to round up some football gear. So one of our friends who makes a lot of content with us played high school football for Bethel Park. So we got his gear, went up to Upper St. Clair Stadium and just started filming it one day. Got some voiceover guys, credit to our friend Gage, who was able to deliver a pretty funny voiceover. And yeah, we cut it together, and we had a feeling that it would do pretty well online, but it flew up more than we anticipated, and it was a cool thing too because it kind of was released right before Chris Boswell missed that kick against the Raiders, so it was kind of interesting timing there. But yeah, it definitely our most successful video as far as views to this date. So it was one of our favorites. A million? Yeah, we got over 1 million views in I think like a week and a half. So it was pretty wild.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like I actually wouldn't have thought about it before you brought it up, but it is kind of crazy that something wasn't made with that same concept before. Because I mean, that is really cool. Like that's just why wouldn't somebody think of that?
Yeah, there's a Pepsi commercial out there that's very, very similar, but I don't know. We were like, you know what? It's really not the same because, like, I mean, maybe not older people, but college kids understand like the whole icing term. Like when I was telling the idea to my parents, they were like, "Oh, I don't get it." You know, I think it's kind of a younger thing, but yeah, it was pretty wild that hasn't been done before, and I'm glad we were able to do it, and it's definitely one that we're proud of.
Right. Awesome.
Well, Pat McAfee understood it, so I think that's all that matters, really.
Yeah. Pat's a nice guy. He's actually seen one of our other videos before, so this is the second or third time he's commented on one of our things, and he's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely cool, and we figured, you know, when we were making it, that's the first thing we thought of. We were like, this would be right up Pat McAfee's alley, especially, you know, being a Pittsburgh guy, and you know, obviously for the brand and the kicking stuff. So yeah, it was cool to you know, get him involved with it.
Right. There was 0% chance he wasn't going to see that. Like I went on and everybody was tagging him in the comments. Like.
Oh yeah. It was cool. You know, when I posted it, I immediately tagged him, and then right after that, you know, there were a lot of comments, people tagging him and people quote tweeting and tagging him. So it was definitely cool to see people get on board with the concept. And yeah,
Right,
it was a good one.
Cool. Going back a little bit, for both of you guys, give us a little bit of personal background about you.
Yeah, totally. So we both grew up in Pittsburgh. I'll let Sean give his introduction here shortly, but I grew up in Upper St. Clair, went to Central Catholic High School, and then went on to St. Vincent College, where the Steelers have their training camp.
Right.
And that's my, you know, background as far as like education and growing up. But I worked for an advertising agency doing video production full time, and we do aux production stuff on the side. And yeah, I mean, we've been into video production probably since like 6th grade. We would always, you know, make videos when we were kids growing up and coming up with funny content for like YouTube videos. So this is something that, you know, recently we've gotten some recognition, but it's something we've been doing pretty much our whole lives. So it's pretty cool just to stay involved and to stay in touch with our friends, you know, making videos like we do. I'll let Sean talk about his background.
All right, so I wasn't born here, but I grew up in Pittsburgh, and I went to Bethel Park High School. Did a little bit of college, but I'm just flipping cards, dealing blackjack at the Rivers Casino now. The whole passion thing, it's like Tim said, it's just mess around with your friends. Like, this all started because my parents gave my brother just a little camcorder for Christmas one year, and we just started goofing off like 12-year-olds do. And that's just sort of never stopped.
Cool. Yeah, well, I think you kind of answered my next question, because I said, when did you get into like the filming type stuff? So you said around 6th grade, really?
Yeah. So Sean and I actually met each other. Sean's cousin is one of my good grade school buddies, so we would all kind of just make fun videos when we were kids growing up. And, you know, from that hobby, I kind of got more involved into editing and stuff in high school, and we'll make a lot of Steeler highlight videos, Pens highlight videos, and I ended up
Those are really fun.
Yeah, I ended up studying that in college, and then yeah, I mean, we kind of just been doing it since 6th grade. Our videos have definitely gotten a lot better, and the concepts have developed more, but it's always fun looking back at some of the original videos, and it's just nice knowing that is always, you know, going to be around, and that whenever we're making videos, no matter what the concept is, it still feels like we're just kids having fun, you know?
Right, yeah, and you know, not to make it about us, it's about you guys, but, you know, looking back on, we've been doing this for about a year and a half as a podcast, and, you know, our first 2 episodes were terrible, but, like, it's funny to think about now, and, you know, we'll always have all those recordings.
2.
Yeah, we
5.
Oh, I thought we were done with the.
Well, we were done with the intro after the.
Right. Yeah. Okay. You're right.
But yeah, we went back like a couple months ago and like listened to our first few episodes,
Boy.
and they were rough. But like you could definitely see like the growth, like you guys are saying.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it's crazy, too, because at the time, you know, you think you have gold and you're like, oh, this is awesome. You know, this is the best thing we've ever made. And then you go back, you know, down the road when you've developed your skills more and you look at some of the work you've done and you're like, wow, like that really wasn't that good. But in all reality, it was good. It's just you're evolving in your craft and you're getting better. And I think that's, you know, you guys can attest to that. It's a good feeling going back and seeing that even though you're having fun, you're actually still developing your skills and getting better. So kudos to you guys.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. And you all like for anybody, they'll always be their biggest critic. So like with your videos, you'll watch back. If you think something's terrible, somebody else probably thinks it's great. But because it's you, you know the work you put in. You have the highest expectations for yourself.
It's one of those things too. You know, you notice the small things, and you're waiting for someone else to call you out on it. And when they don't notice it, you're like, really, you don't see that? Like, it sticks out like a sore thumb to us, you know. And I think that's just the media field in general, and it's just part of, you know, being creative and being in the creative field. So,
right. I do want to kind of obviously you talked about from when you started to now. So if you could talk about your growth over the past year or so.
Yeah, totally. So past year. Yeah. So over the past year, we've gained. I think for us. Yeah, I think we got over like 2,000 Twitter followers and like over 1,000 Facebook likes just in this past year. And that's just from a combination of different videos going viral. Icing the Kicker obviously was our most recent one and our biggest one. But before that, we had Pittsburgh from Above, like we talked about. We had a St. Patty's Day video called Mr. March. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out. It's hilarious.
Like a mock ESPN 30 for 30.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I saw that.
Sean's the main actor in it, and it's a 30-30 parody about the St. Patty's Day party. It's pretty funny.
True story, by the way. True story. That really happened to me.
Yeah, so we did that, and we had another National Signing Day video go viral about a year ago, actually. So I think that kind of helped us get the following we have now, and we've had work featured on KDK, World Star, Now This, Fifth Year. Pat McAfee commented on some. So it was a pretty big year as far as growth. But honestly, I think, you know, from a content standpoint, I think I at least saw a large growth in the type of videos we made. Like we were talking about earlier, comparing that to some of your older projects. Like I compare some of the videos we made last year to, you know, stuff we even made like 2 or 3 years ago, and it's a lot better. So I think we're just getting more confident, getting some support from our followers, and it's gone a long way in what we've created, and I'm excited for the future.
Right. So, talking about, I actually kind of wanted to check out one of your older videos now. Are those still like all on your YouTube or whatever? Like you can find any of the.
Yeah, you should be able to. A lot of the ones from like the very early days, I think, are unlisted right now, just because one of those things. I went through and unlisted some of them, but yeah, a lot of the stuff we've made recently are on YouTube. You can find it under, I think it's Ox Production 01 is our YouTube channel.
Okay.
But yeah, a lot of the early stuff we made isn't on there still, but the stuff we've made within the last year or so is on YouTube and Twitter and probably Facebook as well.
Right. Okay. A little bit ago when we were talking about something else, you brought up Dave DiCello. You know, he's like anybody listening to this knows who he is. I mean, but do you see some similarities with like the video stuff that you want to do with like to go along with the picture stuff that he does? Is that kind of what you're doing? Do you see him as kind of like a role model, if you will, or somebody you look up to for that type of stuff?
Yeah, totally. I've actually met Dave before. I do some work for Benstonium as well. I'm a contributor for Benstonium, so I make some content for them. So I was able to meet Dave actually last year or 2 years ago at the St. Patty's Day parade. And yeah, I definitely see some similarities. Like I said, we're trying to kind of be the video version of Dave DiCello when it comes to Pittsburgh content, getting some, because, you know, Dave posts unbelievable images, and
Right.
we just try to emulate that and do it kind of in a video form and show people Pittsburgh in a way that they might not have seen before, just like Dave does. So in a sense, I would say, yeah, he's definitely a role model. But I think, from a creative standpoint, it's kind of weird because our brand, yeah, we do a lot of Pittsburgh videos. Obviously, we did Pittsburgh from above and a lot of drone content, but we also do kind of like skits and short sketches. So I say kind of like the Bensonium videos too. Kind of like a combination of Dave and Bensonium. We just kind of want to be that Pittsburgh media outlet that make pump up videos for the Steelers and the Pens and the Pirates, that can make drone content, but that also kind of has like a Barstool type approach where we make funny skits and have short funny videos that kind of like the college demographic can appreciate.
Right. Yeah. Sounds good to me. All right. I do have a couple more questions. I'm deciding what order I want to put these in. All right. Each of you, what is your favorite thing about Pittsburgh?
It's funny because Sean and I were talking about this earlier, and I'll actually let him touch base on this because he did a really good job describing it. But we both agreed that I'll just let him take the mic.
All right. So the thing about Pittsburgh is, you know how you ever heard of the 8 degrees of separation? Everybody knows everybody in the world through like just a couple of connections.
Right.
You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think Pittsburgh is more like 3 degrees of separation. Like everybody knows everybody, or at least they know somebody that knows you. Like I guarantee you probably know somebody that knows me. You know?
Right. Yeah. Well, we
And,
found out that Herb and Tim.
Yeah, Tim and I are related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you guys about that at the end. That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, we're like second cousins or something.
Yeah, I believe that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm sorry you're related to
Yeah,
Herb.
yeah, I'm with Tyler there.
All right. So,
Hey, Herb, you have some good genes.
See, I didn't even know that, so that kind of proves my point. But then the second thing that I like about it is like if you're talking to somebody that you don't know and they're from Pittsburgh, and maybe you're like getting in an argument with them about sports or politics or whatever, and if you just like get so frustrated and you're like, you know what, man, you're an asshole. Like he almost takes pride in it. He's like, thank you. Like, I'm from, my brother's an asshole. We were raised to be assholes. Like, this is how it goes.
I do that sometimes.
Yeah. So I think that's just like a weird culture I haven't come across in any other cities.
Yeah, like Sean said, Pittsburgh's one of those areas where no matter where you go, even throughout the country, you'll make some sort of connection somehow. And I think that's my favorite part of Pittsburgh is because, it's a big city, but it's not, it's not like New York or LA. It's the perfect size. And I love how everyone rallies around the sports teams and around local people. And, you might disagree with a local sports person or a local media member, but at the end of the day, we're all from Pittsburgh and we all pull for each other. So I think that's something that I really like about this city.
Right. Yeah. The way I see it is everybody in Pittsburgh can shit on Pittsburgh, but anybody outside of Pittsburgh isn't allowed because then we have its back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
That's how I've always viewed Pittsburgh.
No, that's you hit the net, and you always see those memes and stuff online about how everyone in Pittsburgh lets you know that they're from Pittsburgh, and that's true. That the pride in this city is unlike anything else, and I think that's that's why I like living here so much.
Yeah, that's something that my sister brought up actually while she was home. Was that probably just because it's like my attire most of the time. It's like I only wear most of the time like black and gold stuff.
If
Like
it's not black and gold, it's blue.
Well, yeah. But it's like I let everybody know where I'm from, wherever I'm going.
When I'm in Atlantic City every year, I have like only Pittsburgh clothing. Everybody there knows that I'm a Pittsburgh fan. And every time that we're there as well, we always go to a specific sports bar when the Pens are playing. And those are Philly fans there, like in that area, South Jersey.
Yeah.
So the bar is a Flyers bar. But the 3 times that we've gone in there, they have like a huge projection screen. It's their biggest TV in there, and we've gotten them to put the Penguin game on that TV. So the biggest TV in there has had a Penguins game on when we're there in a Flyers bar.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I was gonna say a year and a half ago, I was in Australia whenever the Pens won the cup, the second time. the day I got there is when they won the cup, and I was wearing like all Pittsburgh stuff, literally like the entire time I was there. But we were in Sydney, the day that they won, and this woman, and this is at night. This is probably like 12 or so hours after they won the cup. And this woman comes like running up to me with her hands in the air, and I had no idea what to do. And so I just put my hands up, and she like high-fived me and grabbed my hands. And it turns out she's from Hopewell in Beaver County. So
Wow.
And we were in Sydney, Australia. So I mean, she was a Penguin fan too. So yeah, it's crazy that Pittsburgh has like connections everywhere.
I wish I had like that part of my brain that when I see somebody running at me with their hands up, my instinct is just high five them back.
Well, it's not like I felt threatened.
Well,
it was
yeah,
just
I
this
know.
woman coming up to me, and I just like put my hand up, and I
Herb
had
would've
no
probably
idea what to do.
Herb would probably just been like, give him a jab.
Jab her right in the jaw real quick.
Well, then she would have really known he's from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
That's what was his reaction.
Call her a jag off real quick.
All right. 2 more things. One, I don't know if you
Yeah.
can answer because you might be keeping it a secret. Are there currently any projects in the works?
Yeah, there are actually. So we've got one coming up hopefully for the Super Bowl. That we're kind of coming up with a short skit for the Super Bowl. You know, it's funny too because now that the Steelers are out, we had some Steeler pump up videos in the can, but unfortunately we got to wait another year to.
Feels
Yeah.
bad, man.
Yeah. It's funny. 2 years in a row we had a video ready to go and they blew it, but. Anyway, so we have one coming up for the Super Bowl and a few other funny skits. Honestly, kind of hard to explain, but I'll just let you know that they are going to be funny and they're similar to Icing the Kicker as far as the comedy and the length.
Okay.
But they're about different things. So yeah, we're definitely trying to come up with some pretty good content. We try to challenge ourselves and top each video with, the next video, and it's definitely a challenge. But in 2019, we're definitely hoping to hit the ground running with some new content. So look out for that in the near future.
Right. Yeah. Give him a follow. That way you won't have to go
Search
look
out, you'll
for it.
just have
Yeah.
it.
You'll just know when it's there. All right. And
I
last
appreciate
thing.
that, guys.
Yeah. Well, I'll have you plug your stuff at the end right before we let you go. Just keep
Okay.
that in mind. All right. But last question. Where do you hope these endeavors take you? What ultimately is your end game with this?
If there is one.
Yeah, for sure. It's tough to say what the end game is, but we definitely have one, hopefully.
Definitely,
so
hopefully. That's the
I'm
same with
always
us.
optimistic. Yeah. It's one of those things. Like each day, we just kind of wake up and try to think of content and figure out how to make it, and hope that it gets us somewhere. Like we talked about earlier, kind of want to have like a Pittsburgh media outlet similar to Dave DiCello and Benstonium, kind of like a combination of those 2 outlets. But we also kind of, like we said earlier, have sort of a Barstool-esque flair. And there's, YouTubers, like I don't know if you guys know Jimmy Tatro, but we try to kind of emulate his style. And essentially our goal is just to keep having fun and keep making content and try to be as funny and as good as possible. And hopefully that takes us somewhere. And that's kind of just what we're doing right now. So to answer your question in short, we don't necessarily have an end goal, but we hope it works out.
Right.
Personally,
You know what?
my end goal is to quit my job and make this my job.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So that's a good answer.
But until then, you can see me down at Rivers Casino and Shawnee Mac slinging blackjack.
You know what? I'm at Rivers Casino like once a month. And my dad's actually there
Every weekend.
2 nights every week. So, but he's mainly a slot guy.
Yeah.
Like I'll jump onto
Okay.
blackjack, but my dad doesn't mess with it. He's intimidated by people that sit down and play card games. That's what he says.
So let me ask you, what's your guys' end game?
You know, I'm the same way as you. At first, when we started this, it was just for fun. Really didn't think of making anything out of it. And then I decided, kind of push the envelope and see what could happen. At this point, yeah, I don't like putting a end goal because then I feel like you're almost like capping what you want to do, and that's not what I want to do. I mean, I just want to see how far it can get ultimately, and hopefully, I don't know if you follow our tweets at all, but we're not too big on Pittsburgh media. So hopefully, completely do away with Pittsburgh radio and basically convert everybody to listening to sports podcasts instead.
The Fan is just going to cancel it.
Well, see, here's what I tell people too.
Hey, man, I mean,
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say podcast. That's where it's at now. Even guys like Pardon My Take and stuff like that. That's the future of media. So you guys are definitely going down the right path. And you're right. I mean, there's kind of a hole in the Pittsburgh market as far as good podcasts. So I think you definitely have a good shot at that.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. But what I was saying was
made me smile.
When I talk to people and they're like, yeah, that's not possible, like radio is always going to roll, I explain to them, okay, listen, we can say something on a podcast and you can go back and listen to it 6 months from now and find exactly what we're talking about on this very episode. If I want to try to find a segment from 93.7 The Fan back in July, that's not possible. Like, everything that we say is on record forever, and you can go back and find it. When we say something, there's no way to refute that we said it.
And we can say whatever we want, too. There's no,
That's true.
There's no, radio restrictions.
Right, we mark this as explicit, so.
That's mostly my fault, but.
Yeah.
Herb gets 2 F words a show.
That's what people want. Yeah. They want you to be able to say whatever you want.
Yeah, they want us to be ourselves. We don't want to, hide what we want to say.
So.
Yeah, and I agree 100% with you guys. There have been multiple times that I've heard Ben Roethlisberger said this on The Fan, and I've tried to find it on YouTube or wherever, and I just can't find it. And that's one thing that podcast is great for, is you can go back and listen to it whenever you want. You can be listening to something, and for whatever reason, maybe you have to step away from your computer or whatever, and you can pause it and come back 3 hours later and pick up the episode. And I think that's part of the reason people are so big on the podcast train. And I applaud you guys for following your dreams and going for it. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. This was actually just originally when we talked about it, just supposed to be like a hockey podcast, and we decided to evolve it into all sports.
It started as a joke.
It started as a joke. I mean, and then last June, last June was kind of when we decided to do more with it.
I think it literally stemmed from a tweet.
Oh, the podcast in general?
Yeah.
I
tweeted out.
I went back
you
and
guys
found
it.
He was like, who wants to start a hockey podcast, or I should start a hockey podcast with Smitty and Herb or something like that, and that's kind of where this all stemmed from. But then, last June, I got in touch with Shane Boz, formerly of the Pirates. Speaking of going back and being able to listen to stuff, 7 months ago we had an interview with a guy who was the Pirates' number 3 prospect and is now not even part of the team. He's with the Rays. Where we even said, can't wait to see you in Pittsburgh.
You guys had him on the podcast?
Yeah.
That's a bunch of Pirates.
So that's
wow.
ever since last June, I've kind of made it like a goal to get as many guys as I can on the show. So we've had.
You should look at his Instagram feed. It's just check DMs,
I mean,
bro.
Most recently, we've had Travis Swaggerty.
Yeah,
who's the Pirates' first round pick last year.
The Pirate prospects, those guys are great. I mean, we've had a ton on here. We've only. As far as the Penguins, we had one guy, Jordy Bellerive.
Classic hockey doesn't give you many answers.
Right, yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's. If you guys want to hear something funny, actually, and we can talk about it on here because it's not the radio, and I really don't care if the Pirates ever hear this. I actually.
Oh, he got shut down.
Yeah, I applied for media credentials.
Really?
Actually, wait, hold on. Shut down is putting it lightly.
Yeah.
He got spiked into the Earth's crust.
Right, yeah. The director of media relations for the Pirates dunked on me, and hung on the rim.
Way.
I emailed him about trying to get media credentials for the Pirates, right? So I sent him, our information, let him know what we're doing, sent him a link to what we're doing, and everything. And he comes back at me with, we're going to pass. And by the way, don't interview any more prospects without reaching out for permission first.
Oh,
so
dang.
I pretended like I never saw that, said screw you, and 3 weeks later we had Travis Swaggerty on the show.
Hey,
Yeah.
you guys.
We didn't care.
Sticking it to the man. That's how it's done.
Yeah, pretty much. All the players on the Altoona Curve have one of our shirts.
Right.
Like
yeah.
every single player.
Oh, that's clutch.
Yeah. You know, that's
You
the
gotta
thing
hook
is.
us up with one of those shirts. We'll definitely rock those.
Yeah. No, for sure I will. I'll text you after this. But the thing is, like with me, you know, it'd be nice to get guys in the MLB. Well, we do have Cervelli and Pablo Reyes.
we have a
our
connection there.
shirts.
Technically, they all do.
Yeah. Well, technically, yeah, everybody on the team has them, but they went through. We got through Cervelli, and he got them for the entire team, so they all have them. And then a little bit later, when Pablo Reyes came up and kind of burst onto the scene here, we got him a shirt. But like my whole thing was, I would rather try to build through the minor league system, because when those guys come up, it's going to be so much more rewarding that they were rocking our stuff the whole way up the system, and we've had them on the show.
It's like, hey guys, you want some tickets?
Right, yeah.
We got a connection.
Right, yeah.
You
And
know,
our
not to keep going back to the Barstool thing, but
Right, yeah.
I know that's kind of how those guys started. You know, they latched on to some athletes who, when they were first getting started, weren't the biggest athletes, but now that they really blew up, that they kind of blew up with the athletes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, we'll always have those connections, regardless of if they do move on. Like Shane's in Tampa now, and Taylor Hearn, who's been on here, is now in Texas. But
Pissed about that one.
yeah, that one was tough to swallow. It was a tough pill to swallow, because me and him texted every day, and he actually sent me a text. He was sleeping when he got traded. That's why I couldn't become official. So the next morning when he got the call and found out, he told me I was like the third person he texted after his sister and mom, and just said, "Good luck with your podcast."
There
I
might
was
be
like,
some priority issues there, if I'm being honest.
yeah, he texted his mom and his sister, and then he texted me, because I texted him too.
Oh, well.
And then he responded and said, "Yeah, you're only the third person I've gotten back to today, but I just want to let you know that I appreciate it and good luck with your podcast."
Oh, wow.
And when he said good luck with your podcast, a tear was shed.
Dude, that's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And with the whole Shane Boz thing, I knew that he was being targeted by the Rays before he was named the player to be named later, because he told me that his agent was telling him, "Yeah, you're at the top of the Rays list of guys they want back."
That was a sequence, by
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
way.
we had
Yeah.
sources, and our source was a player, the player.
Right, yeah, people were asking me, "Where are you getting this information from?" And I'm like, I literally can't tell you. I can't tell you
Yeah.
that Shane himself knows that he's getting traded or could be traded.
That's pretty crazy, though. That's those are some great stories, though, guys. That's wild.
Right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No matter where we end up taking this thing, we still have what we've already accomplished, and we'll never lose that. So.
Yeah. I mean, that's honestly, that's what it's all about. It's just about having fun and hanging out with your guys, and just doing what you love to do and hoping it takes you somewhere. It's better than just sitting on the couch doing nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Maybe we can get AB to come on the show.
That exclusive interview that never came out.
That's what when somebody
You gotta get AB to go to practice first.
yeah. Well, we tweeted about the thing, who wants to see who on the show in 2019, and somebody tagged, it was Peepsburg said James Harrison and Antonio Brown.
That's the
Man.
big time interview.
Man, would that be something? Yeah, that's what James Harrison was talking
my
about on his
God.
Instagram story. They're coming on around the 412.
ESPN tapping into that for sure.
Right.
That's the big time.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, yeah.
100%.
If you guys want to, real quick, plug your stuff, tell people where they can find your stuff, so they can be on the lookout for everything that's
Flex
coming out.
on them real quick.
Yeah. Give them a weird flex
All
real
right,
quick.
quick plug.
Yep. Give us the
All
plug.
right, so you can find us on Twitter at _Ox Productions, Facebook and YouTube. It's Ox Production 01. If you guys go to the around the 412 Twitter, you'll see that they tag Sean and myself. Yeah, I mean, just as Pittsburgh guys, we're trying to make a name for ourselves, and like we said earlier, kind of be like the Ben Stonium, Dave DiCello hybrid, and try to just bring some comedy to Pittsburgh and see where it takes us and have some fun. And at the end of the day, we're just still the same kids we were when we first started in grade school, just making some content and having fun. So we definitely appreciate all of our fan support and our guys that we grew up with helping us out and giving us some shout outs. And I want to thank you guys for allowing us to be on this podcast. It was great talking to you guys. And, sounds like you guys are kind of in the same boat that we are, just having fun, making great content, and seeing where it takes you. So it's always refreshing talking to someone else who's chasing dreams just like we are. So I appreciate you guys for that.
Yeah, appreciate you too, man. Appreciate both you guys for coming on. And yeah, I mean, like I don't want everyone to get the feeling. We've had a couple people on here that weren't athletes. Like anything Pittsburgh, we're about. So
Sable, yeah.
it's awesome to be able to support you guys. Yeah, if you guys know the artist Cody Sable, he's been on here too.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
but yeah, anything Pittsburgh, we're about. So it's awesome to see what you guys are doing, and just know that you have fans in us. So
Yeah, we'll have to get together before like a Pirate game or a Pens game or something.
Dude, absolutely, yeah. And if there's anything we could do to help you guys out with videos or whatever, let us know.
Definitely.
We appreciate the opportunity to talk about our brand, and I want to wish you guys good luck trying to get AB on. I'm pulling for you.
Thanks.
yeah, we might.
We'll see.
He's got to stay on the team first. If he's
We're
not a
gonna have to call
Pittsburgh
God
athlete,
first.
then yeah.
We'll have his exit interview exclusively.
All right, guys. Thanks again for coming on,
All right,
and
hey, I appreciate it.
we'll talk soon enough.
Take it easy, guys.
All right, sounds
Later.
Good talking to you.
All right.
Well, that took
And-
up a good portion of time.
Yeah, this one's gonna be a long one.
Right
this
back
might be
into-
longer than next week or last week. Next week,
You
yeah.
know what was weird was last week wasn't like
Long.
as long as I
Yeah.
thought it was going to be. It was pretty up to par.
It was like hour 45.
Yeah, I thought it'd be
Yeah.
probably double that.
Yeah.
This one.
Double.
yeah, I don't know about double. All right. Well,
3.5 hours.
Yes.
we did have a couple questions I do want to answer before we jump into the usual.
Like Twitter questions?
Yeah, Donnie Druin actually texted me just while we were about to record. Actually, he said we did win the Twitter war, so thank you. That was
Yeah.
me. Not
Yeah.
him.
I was going to say, he followed us finally?
Playing
did.
chess.
So why did he unfollow us again?
Because
I called
Smitty's
him,
a dick.
I called him Mark Madden.
You did?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
And then
like, he still follows me. I don't think we
right. Yeah,
pissed
he
him
followed
off.
my personal one
Yeah.
too. I was like, well, why didn't he just follow my personal one? But, and then okay,
Harley G.
interesting question.
Oh,
Who
God,
is the
Harley.
most like Antonio Brown out of the three of us?
Like Antonio Brown?
Yes.
I
I said Herb because I just feel like he's more defiant.
Yeah.
Like me, I would have given if I'm Antonio Brown, I would have given in. I'd have been like, yeah, you know what, I'm showing up. I don't even care.
I would have
understand.
still held out just for the chaos. I would have been like, yeah, I'll show up, but I want
I'm,
to
I
watch
wasn't-
this.
I'm more like the Chris Hoke of the group.
I'm done.
No, Mormon. But or the Brett Kiesel because he went to BYU.
Yeah, I mean, as far as personality, I don't know who I am on the team. I'm
Oh,
just
I have
saying
no idea.
I'm not. I'm not Antonio Brown, and if I'm having to pick one of us to be, it's probably Herb.
Yeah, I'll
Herb
sacrifice
sucks.
myself.
So, yeah,
Okay.
we could trade him.
Donardo.
Ryan
We're gonna
asked,
trade Herb for Geddes.
when do you think
You'll
Hayes
win
will
that
be
trade.
up to the MLB level, and do you see Keller making an impact soon? As far as Hayes, he's gonna spend the entire season this year in the minors. So I
He
don't
might come up in September.
think,
May. That's why I said might. It's a
yeah,
small might.
but I'm thinking midway next season.
Yeah, and barring injury.
And what if Moran?
Why would you open your mouth with that?
What if
Mr. Wentz is going to tear his ACL.
how much Eckstein loves Moran actually translates?
That'd be so
What
nice.
if Moran's actually like good? Like not good.
Yeah, but what if
good,
he's
good.
bad?
Well, if he's bad, then then next season midway. Then we see probably more of Jung Ho this season.
If he's bad and Bell's bad, I'm never buying a jersey again.
If he's bad,
Yeah,
Bell's
you
bad.
shouldn't have bought one in
Those
the
are
first
those are
place.
the two I bought last year. Trash.
It's all Tyler's fault.
If
I
he's
want to
bad-
get an Archer jersey though.
If he's bad and Bell's bad, I don't know where that puts the team.
5th place.
We already don't have a shortstop right
Fourth.
now.
Yeah, or a second baseman. Asterisk Adam Frazier.
Yeah.
As far as Keller, see, I think he'll be up this season.
Traded.
I think September.
Traded.
Barring.
Traded.
Yeah.
Yeah, an impact soon for what team?
yeah.
No, as long as he's a Pirate, I'm gonna say, yeah, somewhere between July and September.
Yeah. Depending on injuries,
Once again,
blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
that also depends on health.
What if he has a good spring though? Like when I'm talking good
Even
spring,
if he has a good spring,
I
if he
want
has
him.
like a Cy Young spring, I still don't think he starts with the team.
I don't either, but like what if like everyone else like Brubaker or
right.
Peralta
Yeah, I
goes bad?
understand that he hasn't pitched many innings at AAA, and he really hasn't been like elite at AAA. But the Pirates do not challenge their prospects
at all.
to like move up like that. I almost want him to have a fair shot
Mhm.
at the 5th spot.
Yeah.
Along
He
with
should.
Lyles, Brubaker, Kingdom, like
Lions.
whoever's going to be in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
whoever's going to be in the mix. I would love to see him have a fair shot at the 5th spot. That's not going to happen. So probably July to September, somewhere in
Yeah.
that time frame.
Yeah.
Or in July he gets traded. Just
Jesus.
saying.
If the same thing
Apparently
happens as last year,
Apparently the Pirates are in a Vertigo or Vertigo, whatever. his name is.
Verdugo.
Yeah.
Verdugo.
Yeah.
I'm calling him Vertigo.
Yeah, that's. We can talk about that a little bit later. What do you think a realistic trade package for AB is? I don't think anybody knows. Like, people are either overshooting it or under.
Some people are saying like they're gonna get like a first round pick, a second round pick, and a player. Other people are saying they're gonna get
Like nothing
like
more
nothing,
than 1 second.
nothing more than yeah. I think if I was gonna guess, I'd say a first round pick, and then either some sort of player, depending on how good they are, I have no idea, or like a third round pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would put first.
And it
and
just
a second
depends
string
because
corner.
you got the production, but you're taking on that baggage, and teams aren't gonna overlook that.
Yeah. For me, I think it starts with a first round pick.
Yeah, it has to.
And I'm not accepting anything less than that. As far as like additional, I mean, if they could get like an outside corner, I mean, to compete with Sensabaugh at least, because
A first and Patrick Peterson.
Hey,
Done.
how about a second in Antonio Brown for a first and Patrick Peterson?
yeah.
Do you make that
Okay.
trade?
Why not? You get 2 years of control of Peterson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
But Arizona has the number 1 pick this year. I doubt that they're trading that pick. It'd probably have to be
Yeah,
next
but they're
year's.
going to take Kyler Murray. So
So it's wasted already.
They could stand to move down.
20th.
So swap. Okay, so instead of it being a second round pick, we swap firsts.
Yeah, Tyler just died.
yeah.
Swap first, and we get Pat Pete.
I saw someone say, who was it? It was on one of those Fox Sports shows. It wasn't Undisputed. I think it might have been like it was either Colin Cowherd or Nick Wright or someone said that they think they should trade. The Steelers should trade to Oakland because they have 3 first round picks.
Right.
Trade for the 24th overall pick. So get that and then whatever you else get in the package. But the main part is the first round pick. And then trade our first round pick and our first round pick and that first round prick. Yeah. No, our first round prick is Antonio Brown. Our first round pick and that first round pick to move up into the top 10.
Yeah, there's actually something I want to talk about as far as moving up. I like the idea of trading up is obviously awesome. It's not as simple as saying that like the Cowboys tried to trade up to take Ryan Shazier when we did, and we declined the trade. I don't know what we would have gotten back, but like it's not as simple as just saying trade up to take a guy, because if teams like a player, they're not going to let you do that. Like you're going to get blocked from doing that. Like they might really like a player. So, I mean, I don't hate the idea of that. There's a ton of guys that are going to go in the top 10 that could be incredibly useful for right now and the future.
Swap first, they get AB, we get PP.
DeAndre Baker.
You think you're doing top 10?
No, I think top 15
I'm
probably.
disappointed there was no laughs.
Yeah. No.
That's because you said it.
Pete Deuce.
One of these episodes, I'm just going to jump out the window.
Best episode yet.
That's the content we sell for.
That's when we get 50 followers.
Yeah.
All right. Moving to MLB. The White Sox closer to signing Machado. Did you add that?
I did.
Okay, I was just saying it was like highlighted when I went in there
Why?
because somebody else put it in, so I guess it like
Huh.
I don't know. So did you put that in there with some information?
There were a few reports. I think Heyman was the main one, that they signed John Jay,
right.
who is also good friends with Machado, and both John Jay and Yonder Alonso said he's getting closer to signing with the White Sox, and the Yankees have still not offered. So,
Yeah, there's like different reports saying that like the Yankees are out,
yeah.
but Ken Rosenthal saying that that's not the case. That
Yeah.
they're not out, but they also are not willing to go near the $300 million or even 7 years. I guess like they don't even want to do the years of it. So I don't know what the Yankees are doing. Like this is the off season.
They're pinching pennies. There we go.
This is the off season that Yankee fans have been waiting for.
Probably pinching
Like-
pennies because they're looking at they have to sign Aaron Judge in like a year or two.
Yeah, and they have to get rid of Stanton. Oh, wait, no one can afford that.
But like
Pirates.
this was, I mean, we were talking about it before. It's like Bryce Harper's a Yankee till he's not, and that was just last season. Like
Mm-hmm.
those
I never thought he would
circumstances
be.
didn't change, but like I don't know. It's just crazy to me that Yankee fans have been waiting for this offseason and probably aren't getting either player.
Yeah.
Another
it must suck to be a Yankees fan.
a report came
At least
out.
we got Troy though.
What?
Troy Tulowitzki.
Another report came out that Bryce Harper, the Phillies are the favorite, and it could happen as soon as Saturday.
Oh, yes.
Yikes.
Why?
Harper and McCutchen in the same outfield, and it's
Harper-
not in Pittsburgh. I'm going to kill myself.
The NL East.
The
Harper
NL's
staying
going to
in
be a
the NL East.
bloodbath.
Oh, well, they just got
Dozier.
Dozier, so maybe he'll go back to Washington.
I don't think so.
I was looking at that.
Granted,
they
it's
would
only
be
1 year.
they'd be $50 million over the luxury tax.
How much are the Yankees over by right now?
I have no idea.
Does it matter? No. Guess what? Soft caps are stupid.
But okay, I'm just saying. Somebody put this out there. It was
I
like
know,
the
I know.
likelihood of Bryce Harper coming back to the Nationals
Slim
not
to none.
good, and
Yeah.
then the fact that they're already like at $200 million or something like that. Or
Yeah.
I just don't know how. I mean, I get it's different circumstances because I'm not Bryce Harper. I don't make that much money. You look, they offer him much more than $300 million. I feel like that's
Can't
hard
process?
to say no.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially like
Oh, Marchand.
Especially to an organization that you know. Like they're giving you that much money, and it's not like you're uncomfortable there either.
Mhm.
I don't think.
right. Yeah, and like I don't know how many years we're talking here, but look how like Yasmani Grandal. How does he only get 1 year? Like I feel like the longer
That was the
Bryce,
send it contract of the year, by the way.
I feel like the longer Bryce waits, the more he's losing. Both
Oh, yeah.
years and money.
People are being overpaid like crazy right now.
Soon he's going to be in the Pittsburgh market. Just kidding.
Okay.
He's gonna be
He's
in the
not.
Pittsburgh price range.
He's not going to come here.
Signs 1 year deal.
As we talked about, Brian Dozier signed with the Nats, and I also brought up Grandal signed with the Brewers for 1 year, a little over 18 million.
28?
What?
Oh, no, yeah, you're right. 18.
18 and a half
18?
million.
Yeah, 20.
Yeah.
Somebody else signed a
I was like,
longer deal for
Jesus, what?
28. Yeah.
28.
Yeah. I don't know where that came from. Yeah, 18 and 0.7.
Dozier is
Yeah.
1 year, $9 million.
And that was happening when I was sleeping. And I
Yeah.
woke up, went to work, refreshed my timeline, saw that Yasmani Grandal was trending. I was like, what is this?
Why?
Brewers? Snapped.
It's not going to work out for him, but whatever.
What is
Yeah, so they got an elite pitch framer with no pitching.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that will help. I don't know.
I don't think so.
What? Yeah, and then what's his face? Ruga said that the Brewers are still behind the Pirates. I'm like, behind them in what?
He's crazy.
Look at their pitching. We talked shit on their pitching last year, and they went to the NLCS.
I was going to respond, and they're getting Jimmy Nelson, who was probably their best pitcher, but they didn't have last year. Now,
But is
some of
he-
that might have been like, can they really sustain doing that for 2 seasons in a row without
Hell
pitching?
no.
But as far as the Pirates are in front of them, I mean, both teams are 0-0, so I have no idea what he's talking about.
Both the NL Central and NL East are going to be insane this year.
Yeah, like as of right now, I'm looking at they were in the NLCS, we were at home.
And they have the reigning MVP.
Yeah, I don't really think we're ahead of them in anything right now. Maybe starting pitchers. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Bullpen.
Our bullpen's definitely better than theirs.
But just because
Probably, yeah.
of
Well.
that doesn't mean that doesn't mean like our offense or defense will be good,
Yeah, you got to score runs to win ball games still.
which
Yeah.
they did. That's how they won even with that pitching.
And I'm kind of tired of everybody acting like fourth place is like the end-all be-all, or fifth place for that matter. It's like the division's good.
Well, we already
Right.
know 1 and 2 are probably the Cubs in St. Louis. We're
I
all
don't-
playing for third.
I think the Cardinals will be fourth.
If
Yikes.
the Brewers, depending on what the Brewers do as far as second base, I think that they might still be better than the Cardinals.
I think they're better than the Cardinals already. I think the Cardinals' devil magic is done.
I'm just looking at the Cardinals getting Goldschmidt, and I got pissed.
That's fine.
Goldschmidt, we'll see what happens with Andrew Miller.
They got Andrew Miller. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean, if he's like last year, then
Who
yeah,
cares?
that's
But if he's like 2016,
right.
I don't think that's going to happen.
yikes. And the Reds,
Listen, Andrew Miller.
somehow people are thinking the Reds are going to finish above the Pirates
Hell
too.
no. Because they got Puig and Matt Kemp. Come
Well,
on.
Matt Kemp was like an MVP last year.
Yeah.
I swear he's on roids.
And that's a really good park for both of them to hit at.
Oh, definitely.
But
Outside of it, not so much.
adverse to the Pirates, they don't have pitching.
At all. Like, they don't even have a bullpen. They
Yeah.
barely have an infield.
I mean, they
They
got
have the right side of an
they
infield.
got Iglesias to close games, but that doesn't matter if you can't get the ball to him.
Yeah. I mean, even he wasn't that like stellar.
No, I mean teams are trying to trade for him at the deadline, but the Reds
Yeah.
weren't listening. So
Our first playoff like season we were alive for was 6 years ago this year.
it's crazy.
Why'd you just get really depressing?
I don't know. I just thought about that. I was like,
Speaking of
I was like,
depressing.
it's 2019, 2013 wild card game. Wow, that was 6 years ago.
Technically, we're still in 5, but
Let's relax.
Speaking of depressing, Jed Lowry signed with the Mets.
I'm more depressed about Dozier.
$10 million for each season for 2 seasons.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like
Here's
that's a little
20
more than I expected.
I mean, but he's better than Dozier last year.
Oh, yeah,
Dozier
no,
at
I
9,
agree. But,
yeah.
like, you hear Jed Lowry, it's like, oh, Jed Lowry. you
Yeah, I
know?
guess so. He doesn't carry the same name, I guess.
Yeah.
But-
Which is good because they're not getting signed for their names, but
Yeah. I don't know. That's
Where's
signed by
Jay
the
Hay
Mets.
gonna
I just
go?
don't know how they have so many infielders.
the Rangers.
Hmm.
The
Jay
Rangers
Hay?
are severely into him.
That's the Brewers' second baseman.
Oh.
Yikes. I'm just gonna keep saying that.
DJ LeMahieu to the Pirates,
Mm.
please.
He goes to Milwaukee and starts batting like 330,
If that happens, I will legitimately be pissed.
like consistently 330.
I'll
His
quit watching
his
baseball.
his strikeout rate like drops below 10%.
He starts getting hit by pitches again, like 2 seasons ago at a ridiculous
Walk
Yeah.
rate skyrockets.
All right, so that's enough baseball. That's not going on right now.
Nah.
The Penguins win streak came to an end. Guess who beat them?
I said that on our show.
10 times in a
I
row.
was like, you asked me if I'm going. I was like, no, because they're going to lose anyway.
Yeah, I ended up not going, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. It
Yeah.
does not
They
matter.
scored 2 goals in like the first 4 minutes.
And then just
and
went
then
to
lose
their
5-3.
Yeah.
Well, they lost because I go, the Blackhawks are so bad to my dad. And he's like, why would you say that? And then,
I said that too, so
And then the Brinkat scores.
yeah. And I was like, they're still so bad.
they are.
I mean, even after they beat us, they're still so bad.
They are. Did you see the
Um,
next
It's been
game?
almost 5 years since we beat them last. You were at the game.
I was too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marion Hossa was a Blackhawk.
Yeah.
He was able to wear a jersey.
Oh. Too soon.
Too soon.
That's so
I know.
sad. Can we get 10 gifted?
Yeah.
So then a new win streak has started.
Yeah.
Since they've now won 1 in a row.
A whopping 1.
They beat the Panthers. Hornquist is out with an injury, a concussion to be specific, and Zach Aston Reese upper body.
Knuckle.
Yeah,
Slash finger.
Cracked knuckle, broken finger, broken hand.
Dislocated
something.
finger. Something.
something with his hand.
You could see it on video.
But at least he won the fight.
Yeah, that's great.
If we have any bright,
That's what I care about.
well, if we have a bright spot, he won the fight.
I'd rather him not fight,
Same.
but he's been in a couple now this season.
I mean, good for him. Stand up
How
for your
about
teammates, but-
Marcus Pedersen getting in a fight?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
He
That
can
would-
throw hands sometimes.
Well, he got his.
yeah. He was
Asked
kind
it. Yeah, I
of
know.
he was kind of getting whipped around.
Yeah.
I don't even know if
He's
I don't think he was actually even able to look at the guy during the fight
I don't
because
think
his
so.
head was down and he's just
Yeah.
getting whipped around.
He looks like a wet paper bag when somebody's pulling on him. 'Cause he weighs nothing compared to some of these guys. I think
How
he's
tall is he?
I think he's
6'4".
Yeah, 6'4", like 170.
Jesus. Dude.
Yeah.
Oh, last time I weighed 170 was sometime between 7th and 8th grade.
Anyway, Marcus Pedersen is so good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
actually
he
the,
makes
the
Jack
next
Johnson
thing.
good.
The next thing on the list literally just said Marcus Pedersen.
Marcus Pedersen is so elite, he makes Jack Johnson look pedestrian.
We were talking about him when he got traded here. Not a lot of people knew the name, but he had like just recently taken over a spot in the Ducks, like top 4.
And doing well.
Was playing like 17.5 minutes a game. So it's like, why are they trading him?
And he wasn't he on like a 4-game point streak too?
Yeah, and it's like people in the Ducks fans when they tweeted about the trade were like, why are we trading him
Yeah.
and not Montour?
You know who has as many points as Marcus Pedersen? Daniel Sprong.
Since the trade or
Yeah.
overall in the season? Oh,
Since the trade.
Mm.
Actually, it might be overall in the season because they swapped conferences. So
yeah, his is actually. I did see Pedersen's being higher actually.
yeah, I know he definitely has a better plus minus, even though that stat's garbage. Sprong's like a negative 12. He's bad. Like I understand why they were playing.
Right,
now.
yeah, and I wanted to bring up, Yusuf Rikula because of how bad he's been in the defensive zone.
Yeah, he's been getting
But-
his face caved in.
Well, and he's actually a defender, so that's like a real issue. But
Yeah.
Daniel Sprong, like, you need to be able to play some sort of defense,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of what team you're on. Like, definitely for Mike Sullivan, and that's
Yeah.
why Sprong didn't fit in here.
Like Phil
But-
at least puts his stick out.
Yeah, Phil actually stopped a shorthanded chance
He
in their
did.
last game.
Yeah.
Phil sometimes back checks.
Yeah.
Occasionally,
Right.
not all the time, but
Yeah, he has to feel up
he
to it.
can do it.
Yeah.
He's been doing it a lot this year.
He has to feel like, that this might be a scoring chance if I don't. Like, that's what it has to be the situation.
Sprong in 31
He
games. this year.
analyzes who's on the ice. It's like, they're not scoring.
Sprong in 31 games, 5 goals, 5 assists, 10 points, minus 12.
He's like, oh, that's their fourth line. Starts tapping his stick. Hit me up down here.
I'm gonna wait at the red line.
But yeah, Marcus Pettersson is really good.
Pedersen has 45 games, 12 points, 12 assists, plus 15.
So more points. Nice.
Yeah.
So whenever all the defensemen are healthy, I really think
Don't say it.
Alexiak and Ricola are probably the two out.
Son of a
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah.
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 I mean,
I
that's
mean,
what I said. I said I think the writing's on the wall for that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dumo, Letang, Mata, Schultz, Pedersen, Johnson.
Right.
Hey, Mark Bergevin, you need a number 73 defenseman?
Let's
Take
trade
'em.
to Edmonton.
That too.
I don't even know. Actually, no. Don't
You
trade
know
to
what,
Edmonton.
though?
They got nothing.
what
Picks.
if playing with Pettersson makes Johnson look so good that he's actually tradable?
I mean,
You just made my day.
that number though. 3.5 over 5.
Who cares? Make him look good.
The GM does.
Make him look like a number 4 defenseman.
Yeah.
There have been worse trades. Somebody took Rob Scuderi for Trevor Daley.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, I mean, I don't know about the term, but for getting the 5 years, at least for right now, if he's playing with Pedersen, I don't care if he's in there. He looks fine.
I mean, that's what I said. That's what I was like. Would I rather have it be Ricola or Alexiak? Sure, but if the team's winning, he's not. We're not giving up 5 goals a night, and he's on the ice for all 5. Then
He still pisses
it is
me
what
off.
it is.
Still pisses me off to no end. There's always something.
Right,
He's
yeah.
always out of position.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, because they've been winning, I've stopped nitpicking. Like, I'm not watching just him when he's on the ice.
Oh, I do.
Like, that's what I'm saying. I know, I understand that. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, you also used to just watch Letang.
it's
Yeah.
like, oh, he's on the ice.
Stairs.
Why is he going behind his own net? Did he just hit his own goalie?
Yeah, that's pretty much what Jack Johnson. Watching Jack Johnson is.
But okay. Speaking of another trade, is Sergei Bobrovsky getting traded?
No.
He's staying there the rest of the season and then just leaving?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, his future's not in Columbus.
No.
Um,
Or Panarin, for that matter.
How old is he?
28? 27?
wow. So
He's that
Philly
young.
Philly got rid of him when he was how old then? Like 23?
He might be
24?
30. I could be wrong. Because I know Panarin's 28.
Mm. Yeah, Panarin was also a 25-year-old rookie.
Yeah.
Bum.
Russia. Hey, I'm not sure. But that whole situation's weird.
Yeah, so what he wasn't even
He's 30.
traveling with them, huh?
No.
Yeah,
started
so-
next season, he'll be 31.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think he's getting traded. So I guess last night he put up a picture on Instagram of him just sitting there on his phone and just with the
peace.
emoji,
Yeah.
peace emoji. Apparently, the Blue Jackets take exception to that because apparently that was directed at them, from my understanding. So he is not
But
playing.
I wonder for what though.
I don't know. I think it's because they don't want to get rid of him. I think it's because they want to re-sign him, and he just refuses to.
Lulz.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a
It's a
weird
mess.
situation. Yeah,
It's great. Blue Jackets suck.
but we love it.
We love it.
Kucherov has 71 points now in the season, which he's the fastest to 70 points in the last 20+ years. Like, I know that he had 16 points over a 4-game stretch. Just
What?
recently, yeah. Like this,
Is this the late 80s?
He's gonna break 140.
Exactly. Like, he's ridiculous right now. And I remember, I think it was just last season, I said I think he's a top 5 player.
He definitely is.
And
Definitely is.
now here we are, a season and however many games you are into this season later.
I don't even see many people talking about it.
Right? Yeah, he overtook the scoring lead, obviously. I mean, it's still only by 3 points because
I think it's just because
Mika
of the team
Rantanen
he's
is having
on.
the same season too.
The team he's on so good that
Yeah.
it like shadows what
Yeah.
he's doing.
But also, I mean, look at the Avalanche first line. Like, that's the line everybody's been talking about,
Yeah,
too. Like,
because they finally bounced back to where
who's
they should be.
Kucherov play with?
Stamkos, right?
Stamkos, yeah.
And who else?
Oh God, was it?
I
It's
don't
not
know.
Killorn. Is
I
it
don't
Yanni
know.
Gord?
Let me check.
Might be Yanni Gord. Laurel, Yanni.
Because I didn't know who was on Braden Point's line.
I think that's Killorn.
Mm.
We're about to find out.
Oh,
Oh, nope, it is Killorn.
Point plays with Kucherov.
Oh,
Okay.
So daily face-off, they say Point is with Kucherov and Tyler Johnson.
wow. Remember when Druin was on that line and they called it the triplets? Yeah, I remember.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
I remember.
All right, but yeah, anyway, he's having a ridiculous season. So,
Hart MVP. I
Oh.
mean, if he puts up 140 and you give the Hart to someone else,
yeah.
Outrage. Outrage in the streets of Canada.
What if he has 140, but Braden Point has like 137?
No.
Then
that's
it's like-
that's like the what debate was that last year? The Giroux thing. They're like, he has 102 points or whatever he had, but they're like, yeah, but Voracek has like 88 or something.
Mm.
Huh.
Yeah. And then you look at Kopitar, where he had close to 100. And then, like,
Kopitar had like 98 or something like that, and then the next
Doughty.
closest was Doughty with 55.
Yeah.
A defenseman.
Boy, I forgot about that.
I'm just curious. Hold on. I want to look up.
we need to talk about football.
Who cares about
Who cares?
football?
The fans.
What fans?
They lost. They're out of the playoffs. So who cares?
Wow. What about our exclusive interview?
That's toxic.
That
the
is
last
very toxic.
person to score 140 points. Mario Lemieux scored 161 in 95-96.
161. Goodness.
That was the last time anybody reached
Imagine
above
that happening
140.
and then realize it might. Scoring so low in the NHL.
Yeah.
I mean, Lemieux in what is it? 88, 89 scored 199.
Yeah.
Then Gretzky had a few seasons that were over. He had like 4 or 5 seasons that were over 200.
Yeah.
Man, goalies sucked ass.
There was no such thing.
Yeah, goalies didn't exist. It was just.
So if you
like
score
skater.
140 in today's game,
You can't skate. Here's goalie pads.
Can you imagine that shooting
you're
percentage?
chubby. Here's goalie pads.
Yeah.
That's I remember Wayne Gretzky interview. He said that like the goalie was normally like the chubby guy.
Yeah. Because he
The
covered the
one
most
that,
net.
Yeah, the one that couldn't really skate as well.
Now it's like a craft.
Insane.
Now the goalie is like the most athletic on the team.
Yeah.
At least like bending and
Dude, like,
stuff
honestly,
like
like, when Marc-Andre Fleury first came into the league, like, the stuff that he was pulling off in net, he was the best athlete on the team.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
The flexibility was just insane.
Did you see that he's like, was it the NHL rankings or some? I forget what it was, but they were ranking the Vezina candidates so far. They said that Freddie Anderson from Toronto was first,
Ah.
John Gibson was second, and they said Fleury was third.
I thought
He
somebody
is
was
up there in a
gonna
lot of categories.
Yeah, I just remember
But-
at the beginning of the year he was having kind of a down year to start, but I
Yeah.
guess he picked it up.
And how is Henrik Lundqvist an all-star? You know that the
I-
Smith and Murray both have better numbers?
Do
Don't
you
wanna
just know
talk
that we
about
got him pulled?
Like, yeah.
Did any of you watch the World Juniors?
I did somewhat.
Highlights, but not like, yeah.
Some of those games were good. Finland is damn good, and I didn't realize it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mata.
Yeah, word to Mata and Ricola.
Yeah, I guess apparently they all still like view themselves as the underdog, even though they've been on the pedestal for the past like 4 or 5 years.
Also, there was a goal that should have been allowed for the United States. That
I
wasn't
missed
allowed.
that.
Was that the one that, like, went off the back, came back to the
Mhm.
front? Okay, I saw that.
And then, that should have been allowed. That wasn't goal interference at all. He didn't even touch him.
To be honest with you, I didn't know if they had different rules. And that's why I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see it happening. Do you see the 14-0 Canada game?
Yeah,
Good
over
God.
Denmark.
Yeah.
I'll just say who they play, but
Who
that
cares?
could answer quick.
Apparently, Great Britain is going to be making the World Juniors next year or next time.
Hmm.
Yeah. England getting a team.
Is there a NHL player from England?
I don't believe so.
Doubtful.
There's one from Australia.
Yeah, the dude with the Caps.
Oh,
Is he with the Caps still? But yeah, he was with the Caps.
damn.
All right. So there's some stuff to talk about in football.
Oh, this dude in chat's from Finland.
What?
Yeah.
Who? Hi. All right. So yeah, there is a lot of stuff to cover in football, but most of it's just pretty
Snatch or
quick.
not? Sorry, reading his name.
Just
Most of
cut
it's
off
just
Smitty.
just coach related. Munchak is staying because Vic Fangio got
Woo!
hired as the head coach for the Bears
Ric Flair, we want to.
or Broncos. I'm sorry, he's the Bears defensive coordinator. But that's a great thing for us. Kind of sad that Mike Munchak isn't getting another shot at head coaching. I think he deserves it,
Yeah.
but it's a good thing for the Steelers and their offensive line. If he would have left, we do have like his assistant has been here since like the offensive line rebuild kind of started, but he probably would have went with him. Like that would have probably been his offensive line coach now for the Broncos.
And that's where we get Bob Wiley.
And then and that's how Bob Wiley would have came into the picture, but it didn't happen. We did let go of our running backs coach. And a lot of people are like questioning that. Here's what I'll say. I saw that it might have been like a mutual thing. The contract was up, and he can now go to Tampa Bay possibly with Bruce Arians, which is like who he started with when he was
Gotcha.
here. So that actually makes a lot of sense when you hear that. But also, if you are going to have like any type of turnover with coaching, it normally happens when their contracts end. So Porter and Saxon, their contracts just happened to be up, so that you didn't have to technically fire them.
Yeah.
You just weren't bringing them back.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're looking at it just on the surface, it's like why?
Yeah.
You know, we had lost Bell, and we produced another Pro Bowl running back. And when that Pro Bowl running back got hurt, then we had Jalen Samuels, who was productive.
Yeah.
So on the surface, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. If you dig deeper, he's likely to probably have a role on Bruce Arians' team now,
Oh, yeah.
Tampa Bay, which is another one of the coaching hires. Bruce Arians, who's retired multiple times, is now the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I don't think retirement's a thing anymore.
It's really not. You're basically retiring from a situation,
Yeah.
and saying if the right situation pops up, then I'll come back.
I'm just not getting fired. That's pretty much what you're saying when you say you're retiring.
Yeah. You know what? But Arizona, I don't know if they would have fired him.
Oh,
had
probably
he got
not.
retired.
Probably not. Damn. That was
But
a
to
while
me,
ago.
that's So you're like getting out of a situation to essentially wait out another situation.
Yeah.
One that, but to me, that's a little bit of a I don't know why he would have so much interest in going there.
I don't know. 2 years ago we said they'd be Super Bowl contenders.
Right.
No,
Yeah,
not
you're
we.
Not,
Him.
I mean, I put them in the playoffs.
right.
He put them in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. If you're on Hard Knocks, I'm buying into you.
Yeah.
They just, I don't know. There was something about them, and I've always liked Jameis Winston. I don't know about now, but I think that that's a big thing with
Eating
Arians
dubs.
is trying to get Jameis Winston back on track.
Oh, 100%.
I think that they will stick with him now after that hire, because I think we were just talking about it last week. You know, were they a team that could potentially take Haskins before the Jaguars would?
Yeah.
But I think that Winston's going to get at least one more shot there. Now
Will
with
it
the
work
hiring of
well?
Bruce Arians.
Who knows?
Yeah, that I don't know. But then you're back into next year's draft class with the quarterbacks, where Justin Herbert will be coming out.
Hey.
Yeah, Justin Herb will be coming out. Some other coaches, Adam Gase, formerly of the Dolphins, stays in the division.
Lols.
He's now the Jets head coach, working with Sam Darnold. Mike loves that. Bird Fins fan. Shout out to Mike. Is absolutely loving that.
So does New England.
Well, he's actually beaten New England a couple times, though.
Well, that's in
with the
Miami.
Dolphins. Yeah. As far as with the Jets, I mean, he was a quarterback whisperer, quote unquote, before going to Miami. That didn't work out too well. I mean, granted, Tannehill wasn't healthy for the most part. But I don't know. I don't like the hire. I would have, I've talked bad about Mike McCarthy on here, but I think that would have made more sense for the Jets. And I think it would have been a better hire. They were also really interested in Cliff Kingsbury, who got hired with Arizona. And I think that would have also made more sense for them. Well, Arizona does have a young quarterback too, but I think that the idea of pairing Darnold with Cliff Kingsbury was what they loved. They didn't want him to fly to Arizona to take that interview, and he ended up doing so and got hired right after his interview. So
Why Why did they want him to fly?
No, they didn't want him to. Like
No,
they
they
didn't want him to
wanted
go
him
to
to
Arizona at all.
Oh. Huh.
Take a train.
You can go to the meeting, but you're not flying.
Well, no. Like, I mean, when I say fly, I mean transportation, but sure.
No, yeah, that's what they didn't want him to go at all to Arizona because they wanted to hire him and just couldn't work it out to where they were able to finalize it. So he goes to Arizona and ends up getting hired there. So they missed out on him.
Fair enough.
Which I know we were talking about that hiring a little bit before we came on.
You guys,
I mean, like,
you guys.
I think that everybody's just trying to find the next Sean McVay, and that's what it
The-
comes down to.
Look at the. When I say look at the coaches, I mean literally look at them. Like look how they look physically. Everybody's trying to hire young, like good-looking coaches that fit that mold.
Yeah.
They wanted to hire the next Sean McVay.
Yeah.
Except for Tampa Bay, who to me that's the best hire.
Probably. I'm curious to see what this LaFleur does with the Packers, though, and that's the last one on here. The Titans' offensive coordinator. You're probably not hiring him based off the Titans' success offensively, but he worked under Sean McVay, and he also worked under Kyle Shanahan, and I think that's where that comes from. Like, everybody's trying
And
to
I
find
guarantee he got the approval from Aaron Rodgers.
probably.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Aaron
probably
Rodgers
met with him.
actually called him before he officially got hired
Oh,
to
okay.
tell him that he got the job.
Man, how much power do you have to have as a player to be like, hey, we're bringing you on?
The team hasn't notified
Well,
you yet, but
yeah, I mean,
but this is probably to be his last head coach. Like,
Yeah.
hopefully.
yeah.
So
you think. You don't know, but you think.
I still don't understand the Cliff Kingsbury thing. I mean, I know
What a
I know
name,
you
by the way.
you don't mind it. I just
No, it's not that I don't mind it. It's that I don't understand the idea of relating his college record to it. I don't. If I had to say, I don't think it's going to work out.
I just don't get it. Like, if you want to bring the college record up, he was 35-40 in 6 years, and he gets fired from his alma mater where he's like an all-star legend, and then you get hired by an NFL team. When has that ever happened? Like, how has someone failed up, got fired up?
Yeah, I don't know.
It just doesn't make sense to me. Why would they do that?
But even while he was still at Texas Tech, there was NFL interest, and then he just got fired, and everyone's like, okay, well, don't know if that's going to happen now. And then he goes to USC to be the offensive coordinator. I figured what was going to happen was he'd be the offensive coordinator at USC for 1 year. He would take an offensive coordinator job in the NFL the following season, do that for maybe only 1 season, but most likely 2, and then become a head coach.
He's a better OC than he is a head coach.
Yeah, I mean, and that's probably honestly what's going to happen. I mean, if I'm a betting man, I'm going to say he's fired before that team makes the playoffs with him as the head coach, and he ends up being an offensive coordinator somewhere.
This is the part of the episode where Herb sits here and types the chat.
Like he was the offensive coordinator at Houston when Case Keenum was there.
Yes.
And
I think so.
yeah, no, he was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm saying that, yes. And Case Keenum was good in college. Like he ran the offense and the offense did well. Texas A&M, he's there for 1 year. That 1 year, Johnny Manziel wins the Heisman. He called every single play Johnny Manziel ran. So he's good as an offensive coordinator. Then he's the head coach at Texas Tech, and things just didn't click. Like they put up like record numbers on offense, but the overall team still wasn't good. So I don't understand the hire. I don't understand why everybody was so attracted to him as a head coach, I guess.
Riveting content.
Yeah. I don't know. We know that it's different in the NFL than in college, and I guess the hope is just get the offensive guru and hope it works out.
Fix Josh Rosen.
Now, the question is going to be who's his defensive coordinator. I think a lot of people were saying, they would like to look for an older guy like a Wade Phillips type, like Sean McVay, had there right away with the Rams. That can be like, a second head coach, essentially, somebody to lean on.
Bruce Arians would have fit.
Well, Bruce Arians was an offensive.
Kind of
I
like
know.
remember the Titans, like where one coach covered the offense, the other coach did the
Oh,
defense.
yeah.
Like have someone where you don't even have to worry about the defense. All you have to worry about is the offense.
Actually, yeah, no, I keep
Oh, wait,
forgetting to
I
ask this. Go ahead.
Freddie Kitchens got hired by the Browns. I forgot
That
about
one,
Yeah.
Freddie Kitchens has never been a head coach anywhere.
Oh,
wasn't he only briefly an offensive coordinator? Was he an offensive coordinator before?
He was never hired as an offensive coordinator. He was only interim offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Baker must
In
have liked
college, too. He's never been a head coach
so
or OC.
it was Baker's quarterback coach with
Yeah.
the Browns, and then he got promoted to offensive
him.
coordinator.
Yeah, Baker must really like him.
Yeah.
That's all I can think of.
Guy's an idiot.
Well, we'll see.
No, that's the clip that Baker said that
Oh,
when he was scratching his beard.
so I don't know if I've asked this on here before. What is the point of a head coach if you have an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator?
Game management. A lot of head coaches also, like, even though you have a coordinator, they do the play calling.
Okay.
The head
Mike
coach.
McCarthy did all the play calling.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
we
a
see
lot
where
of
that got them.
coaches.
A Super Bowl.
Yeah, long time ago.
A lot of
Yeah.
coaches will
Yeah, yeah.
delegate that. Like Byron Leftwich is the new offensive coordinator for the Buccaneers, and
Yeah.
he's also doing the play calling.
Former Steeler, by the way.
See, that's what I think. When I hear offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator, that's who I associate with play calling.
Mm.
I mean, obviously, like you said, depending on the situation and the place.
If
right,
a head
it's
coach
different.
has a big thing in his hand that he holds, he's usually the play caller.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
And
Well, in that case, Tomlin doesn't have that. What does he do?
apparently he's taking over, like, the play calling aspect of the defense.
It
No.
worked. It worked at the end of the season.
Yeah.
They looked significantly better at the end of the season, in my opinion. Outside of those weird 2-minute, let them get down the field.
75-yard drives.
Yeah. But they looked so much better throughout the game with his hands on the defense. in my
Yeah, that's
opinion.
funny. Not that I want to relate it to BYU,
Oh, no.
but in like 2000,
You wanted to relate it.
I wanted to relate it to BYU. In 2010 or 11, BYU lost to. They had lost their fourth in a row, and they lost to Utah State pretty bad. And so they fired their defensive coordinator, and Bronco Mendenhall took over the defense while he was still head coach.
Mm.
And for the rest of the season, their defense ranked at the top 10 in the country.
Hmm.
So maybe Tomlin can have an effect like that.
Hopefully.
I mean, the Steelers defense finished, what, 6th in the league?
Yeah. They're up there in sacks too. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. It's situational.
It's the secondary, too.
It's
secondary
situational
gets worse,
defense.
but-
Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
they're not giving up the
where they
yards,
rank
not
in
a ton of points.
turnovers, like bottom three.
That's the
Yeah.
thing too. It's like the Saints won a Super Bowl without a very good defense
Yeah.
because they created a lot of turnovers.
Yeah.
Like they gave up a ton of yards, points too. It is their offense scored and their defense created turnovers.
So basically what you're saying is just get better cornerbacks outside of Joe
but
Hayden.
they're well, yeah, but even like if you, I think if you upgrade the personnel, like how many more top picks are you gonna invest in this defense before you realize it's not the personnel, it's the scheme.
How many more top picks are you going to spend on linebackers?
Well, yeah, that's like someone was going. It was actually on the Fan Morning Show. It was Colin Dunlap.
Mhm.
Someone called in, was complaining about like the players themselves,
Mhm.
and it's like, Cam Hayward was a first round pick, T.J. Watt was a first round pick, Joe Hayden was the top free agent signing, Ryan Shazier was a first round pick,
Yep,
Sean
before
Davis was a second round pick.
Tua was second.
Tuitt's pretty damn good whenever he
yeah.
shows up.
And so he was just saying it might not be the players.
Yeah.
If you look at it, they've had the time and they've picked pretty good guys. It's just
The only huge bust they've had is Artie Burns.
Yeah.
That's it. God knows
Bud
what happened
Dupree
to
to
him
a
this
certain
season.
extent.
Yeah, if he just stopped overrunning people.
Yeah, but Artie Burns has gotten to the point where he's a bad pick no matter where you pick him. If Bud Dupree had the same production
Third or
as
fourth.
not a first round pick,
Yeah.
then
It wouldn't be as bad.
Yeah. And actually he's probably not here anymore because we would have just cut ties anyway.
Yeah. But
we would have
man,
had the
what-
5th-year option on him.
I
But
don't
that's
think
only
we-
guaranteed if injury, so
Yeah.
they might not pay that $9.5 million for him.
Did we talk about the fall of Artie Burns at all? I don't think
mean-
so.
I don't know.
What happened to him?
He plays, other than kicker, probably the second most mental position
Yeah.
in football.
And
I mean-
this year his mental ability just was not there.
Right. Yeah. He was promising as a rookie.
Yeah.
Second year was kind of like a roller coaster, hit or miss, and then this year just
I don't know what
fell
went
off
wrong.
the track.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have no idea how it happened so quick, but he wasn't a really good fit for the team to begin with. I mean, they took a corner because the corner they wanted got picked the pick right before
Which one
William
was
Jackson to the
it?
Bengals,
Yeah.
and they were just sitting there like, well.
Shit.
I mean, we were planning on taking a corner. So they took a guy that had, at best, a third-round grade
yeah.
from anybody. and he played press at Miami,
Yeah.
and we don't do that.
Mhm.
So I don't understand where at
That
all
was probably a
their thought
reactionary
was
pick.
like, this is a good pick.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna take a corner, at least take a guy that makes sense for the scheme. Like
Yeah.
they literally took the opposite of what they should have.
You're not kidding.
But so he wasn't even put in a position to succeed.
What?
We love it.
Tim tweeted it out. Yeah.
Love
the content.
So there's a couple more things to talk about. Real quick, Kyler Murray sounds like he's going to go in
Sounds.
the NFL draft. So we're pretty
There were
sure
rumblings.
we're pretty sure he listens to the show now. But we didn't bring up when we were talking about all this last week. We were kind of talking about it as if the assumption is this guy's going to go in the first round.
Yeah.
I mean, say he doesn't, though. If he is a day 2 pick, if he gets taken in the top half of day 2, then you have 2 years of your contract guaranteed. If as you go down, it's only 1, and then if he gets picked in like round 3, I don't think any of it's guaranteed.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So that's the he's got to be very strategical with this. Very good advice from his agent. They better find out from execs where they think he's going to go. If you think he's going to go in the first round, then yeah, it sounds like it is a better decision for him to go to the NFL. If not, at least financially, then it's probably better for him to go baseball.
See, that's the thing. You can always kind of – I don't want to say that because you can't take a year off baseball. I was going to say you could always fall back on it, but you can't take a year off. Credits, different times, but –
Right. Yeah.
Such
But
an-
I mean, I like we were talking about. We can sit here and say, for me, if I were taking a guess, I also think that he loves football more.
Yeah.
But I don't know that for a fact. And so if I'm sitting here saying which one should he do, I'm gonna say football because of my own personal assumption of what he loves.
Yeah.
But I don't know that for a fact.
That's why when I say football, I think my main reasoning for that is if he wanted to be a baseball player, he could have done that last year. He didn't have to go back to school.
Yeah. I mean, unless unless he's just milking out as much of both as he can.
Yeah.
I'd believe that.
Like, if Oakland's going to allow him to do that, then I'm going to do it. I'm going to finish this out, see if we can win a national championship, and then continue on with baseball.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you said it last week, too, and like I said, it's him. I don't know him. I can't get inside the guy's head. But if you ask me, does he like football or baseball more, my answer would be football. And I don't know that for a fact, but
That's what I think, too.
if I'm taking a guess, that's what it is.
Fair enough.
All right.
Speaking of college football, national championship.
Boy.
Right.
Boy.
It won exactly how everybody thought.
The Alabama ass whipping.
Like, I was not like surprised by Clemson winning the game, period. I was more surprised by how they won it.
Yeah,
Like,
Alabama
Yeah.
gave up more points than Pitt did. Clemson.
Pitt's
we're
better.
doing this now.
Um,
So
Pitt's really, they should have been there.
I saw your tweet that said Bama's going to win, and I saw it like a day after the game. Like, I really want to say
It's
then what happened.
everybody.
But everybody thought that.
I was saying little.
That's the thing. You could have done that to everybody. I tweeted nice win for the Alabama Crimson Tide tonight. Jamal said touchdown Alabama before the game started,
Yeah.
and then they threw a pick 6.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jamal and I were saying it would be a classic ass whooping on Twitter
Yeah.
before the game, and then that happened.
So I was listening to Joel Klatt talk about it, and he's the college football analyst for Fox Sports, and he said that over the 4 years where they played 4 years in a row in the playoff, Alabama has lost 13 assistants over those 4 years and have had 2 different coordinators for each of those 4 games, and Clemson has lost 2 assistants and has had the same coordinators every single time.
That's what
in
I
those
asked.
4
Why don't
games.
Clemson guys get better job offers like Alabama does?
I don't know. But I mean, the way he described it, he's like Alabama works more like a factory,
Yeah.
where they're just like churning out these guys and they go to somewhere else. And he said Clemson is more like a family where they stay there. I mean, like
Yeah.
even the seniors that would have been like a first round pick last year stayed at Clemson for that
Yeah,
moment.
Alabama's like a college basketball, at least for coaches,
Yeah.
one and done.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, he went through all the coordinators and they had a different one on each side of the ball every single game that was played. And Clemson had the same one for all four.
Yeah.
And he also said the way he looked at that game, he thought, well, Dabo Swinney and Clemson outcoached Saban and his staff like thoroughly.
Yeah.
But he said that it looked like Clemson looked at Notre Dame. They looked at who they played and how they were going to play. And they said, we can beat these guys. Let's prepare for Alabama. And he thinks that they spent like a month preparing for Alabama. Meanwhile, Alabama only prepared for them for a week because they had to play Oklahoma and prepare for Oklahoma's offense.
Well, somebody that, I don't know if they worked for Clemson or just cover it, but they said what they did was they took the most successful play from Alabama, against Alabama, from each team, and basically put all of it together in their offensive game plan.
Oh. Huh. That's interesting.
So, like, essentially, whatever was the most successful play that anybody ran against these guys each and every week was put in the Clemson's game plan.
It worked.
Also,
That's
Trevor
genius.
Lawrence is a stud.
Yeah.
That
He
dude
could
is
go,
so
he
Justin
could go
Ross
pro
is a
right now.
stud.
He's so relaxed.
You know what's interesting? The XFL, you're not going to have the same rules as the NFL does, where you have to play 3 seasons or redshirt and then be a redshirt sophomore.
Mm-hmm.
Like Trevor Lawrence, if the XFL was around right now, could go into the XFL.
Huh.
They're going to offer that to people. That is going to be interesting. You might see guys like that used to happen though, like with the USFL. Like guys would go there first, so they could make like
Decent money.
a couple $1 million while they're like 19, and then end up going
Yeah.
to the NFL.
Yeah, it's funny. Joel actually brought that up when he was talking about Trevor Lawrence, and he was saying that there's only 2 jobs where if you are physically and like you're skill-wise ready to go into that job in the United States, you can't do so. And it's NBA and NFL. Like if you're ready out of high school, literally any other job, if you're literally ready, you can do that job, but those ones you can't do it. And it's out of your control that you can't do it.
Yeah. I mean, both of those have some developmental things that need to be taken care of before they get thrown into that.
Well, you know,
Right, yeah,
I
but
don't
that
think
should be the team's decision.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't think
like-
everybody should be able to do that. Like come out like either out of high school or out of like college after 1 year.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence probably could. Adrian Peterson could have. Leonard Fournette could have.
Yeah.
Like there's certain guys like Leonard Fournette or Adrian Peterson probably could have out of high school.
Yeah.
There's
Middle
certain
school.
guys that they could probably come out and I mean especially like I mean we're talking about football, but like NBA, there are multiple guys that could probably come out of high
Zion.
school. Zion probably could have come out of high school.
RJ
Zion,
LeBron could have been playing like 10th grade.
Oh, you're not kidding. You're
Yeah.
you're not kidding.
So I don't know. Maybe that role will change one day, but we'll see. But he's a beast, and he'll probably be like the top quarterback prospect since Andrew Luck in
Yeah.
the draft.
While we're here, do you think Lamar Jackson makes the jump to being an actual QB that can throw the ball next season?
I don't know. Can he throw?
Not really. Not very accurate. I don't think so. I don't think he's going to be the franchise quarterback like everyone keeps saying.
I mean, he's definitely going to be their quarterback next year.
Oh, well, yeah. But I'm
Uh,
saying they shouldn't like bank on him being there for the next 10 years.
Right, yeah. And I don't think that you can. I mean, I don't care what a little bit of doubt has to be in their mind after watching that playoff game.
Oh, I'd hope.
I mean,
The fans were chanting for Flacco to get in.
right, that's pretty
That's how
telling.
bad it was.
That's pretty telling. I mean, he does have a good amount of time now between now and next season to correct some of that. I mean, I don't know. Can you teach accuracy?
You hope.
I mean, it's something
I
you
don't
can
know.
work on.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe a lot of it's just like not
Mental.
being, a lot of it's mental and, he sees one pass go awry. But at that point, then you got to work on being mentally stronger.
Yeah.
Just being able to accept that failure happens for good quarterbacks 30% of the time.
At least.
Okay, so last thing to talk about. I don't know how many times they're gonna talk about this exact same subject with this person between now and the next Steelers season.
Oh yeah.
But
Hopefully not much more.
Art the second talked about AB a little bit to the Post Gazette and didn't hold back much.
No.
You know, it's pretty telling of where the situation's at for him to say it's, you know, hard for him to envision was the exact word, a scenario where he is on the Pittsburgh Steelers next season right now. You know, and that can
By
change.
training camp.
Right, yeah. And scenarios, circumstances change every second, every minute, every hour, every day. So who knows? We could wake up tomorrow and something be totally different. And also,
Literally 30 minutes after that quote came out, Antonio Brown put a picture of him
yeah,
and Art up.
and it's like, what does this mean?
Is he just being a troll?
It's this cryptic BS that keeps getting posted. Like,
I love the fact that the
Like
Steelers
your
are the worst
Instagram now.
organization in the city.
right, yeah. Try to guess what I'm posting about every
Yeah.
single day now.
Yeah.
But like,
Skip flexing.
John
With it-
Cena.
with Antonio, like, I don't think that there's anybody that, thought it was going to get to this level. I mean, I know I didn't when this all happened. I was like, this will blow over. He'll still be a Steeler next season. I don't feel that way anymore.
Yeah.
I asked you in the car. To me, it's only a matter of time at this point.
Oh, agreed.
Since Art said that, it's only a matter of time until he's gone.
Yeah, and it's better for them to wait a little bit because it's like post March something. It's
March
like
15th, I think.
only $8 million as opposed to the $21 million or something.
When's the draft?
End of April.
Yeah,
I think he might get dealt then.
at the trade deadline or at the trade deadline
At the draft.
at the draft.
Yeah.
What am I talking about? Nobody gets traded at the trade deadline.
This is
um,
football.
Josh, getting Josh Rosen in the first round pick for Antonio Brown and the Steelers first.
No. I'll pass.
Hard
No,
pass.
can we tank whenever Ben's on the team? Can we tank in 2 years?
I hope.
Win the Super Bowl next year, and then just completely tank and take Trevor Lawrence? Because there's a very strong possibility he'll just be the first overall pick no matter what team has the pick.
To the Pats.
Yeah. What? No. Get
Yeah.
out of here.
It's going to happen.
Tom Brady will be like 43 or 44 saying, don't you dare draft another quarterback.
Comes
long
out there
as-
on his walker.
Yeah. Good God.
I'm still here.
Did you see that people were talking about Ben like extending him till like 2022 or 23?
That's insane.
Well, for cap purposes, they can push everything forward, basically as bonus, and it like basically relieves some of cap situations, so they have his cap hit isn't as big,
And
yeah,
then just
yeah.
yeah. I guess. Yeah.
which would also help for the AB situation if they do eat that money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if he's on the team, it's $22 million. If he's off the team, it's $21 million. So
We know he's not getting cut.
yeah,
I mean, that's not a possibility.
but I mean,
Yeah.
even if they
It's-
trade him,
yeah,
it's
no, I
still
know, I know.
$21 million.
I wasn't saying that because of that. I was just
Yeah, I don't understand that.
What?
getting
Cap
back to the
hit
situation.
staying on a team after you trade someone.
I think it's because of guaranteed money.
Yeah, like a signing bonus. Like we forwarded all of what besides what like $800,000 of a salary to a signing bonus.
Yeah.
So, like another team wouldn't be on the book for that.
Still, that shouldn't be cap hit. It's like the NHL. That's just salary paid, not cap hit.
I don't know how money
I-
works.
I don't understand how the NFL works. It makes no sense.
Either way, if he's not on the team, it's 21 this year, but it's 0 the next two.
Yeah.
If he's on the team, it's 21 this year,
So what
18
I'm hearing,
and a half the following year, and 19 the year after that.
so what I'm hearing is trade him, tank this year, and then go.
No, not
Why-
tank.
no, not
tank
tank this year. Tank the following year. Because that's when Trevor Lawrence will be in the draft.
But that's also when you have a shitload of cap room.
Yeah, you can have both.
Look at
Yeah.
the look at the Colts. They have $100 million of cap room.
Yeah.
They have $100 million in cap room, and they're in the.
They also did not expect to be this good, by the way.
That's true. They have $100 million in cap room, and they're in the Final Four of the AFC.
They almost ruined their franchise quarterback because they didn't acknowledge him having a shoulder injury for how long.
Yeah. There was like people in the Colts organization, not in the Colts organization, but Colts fans that wanted Jacoby Brissett to be their franchise quarterback.
Lol.
Where's he now? Not in the league.
No, he's our backup.
Is he?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still there.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised if he got a shot somewhere else as a starter, but at some point.
Yeah.
Especially
But
now that
over
we,
Andrew Luck.
No. Especially now that we know that Andrew Luck's like back.
Oh, you're back.
So
Oh, we gave you a line.
Right.
I had this discussion. I can't remember where. I think it was work. Do you consider Russell Wilson elite?
Yeah.
I agree.
I think he's a top 5 quarterback in the
He
league.
carries that team.
Yeah.
He's one of the best athletes in the NFL.
So one of the customers, like, he was talking about elite quarterbacks. I'm like, Russell Wilson. He's like, oh, he's good. I'm like, he has put that team on his back since they went, however.
He's
since
the
they went
only
to the Super Bowl.
reason they were in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he should already have 2 Super Bowls.
Oh, definitely.
He's the reason that they are there every year. Like, they don't have...
Damn, I should have handed that one off.
They have no defense.
Like, Doug Baldwin's okay.
yeah, they have no defense.
But that's the thing. He's okay, and he's their best receiver.
Lockett was okay.
Their tight ends suck. Their offensive line sucks. Their running backs are meh.
Yeah, their O-line. Why do you think he's run so much?
Yeah.
His O-line is terrible.
He has to be one of the most underrated quarterbacks, maybe of all time.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I'm a Russell Wilson fan.
I just
I'm
want that
just-
confirmation because that guy being like completely discredited.
I'm just like, is elite is there only a certain number of quarterbacks that can be elite?
I'd say
or is
top
it like,
5. Top 5 in the league right now. Just because
Okay,
it's
take
so
the word
stacked.
from it. Is he a top 5 quarterback in the league? Take the word elite away
Yeah,
from it.
yeah.
I'd say probably.
If not, he's definitely debatable.
Yeah, like he's a bubble guy for me.
He's like 6'7", maybe 5'6", 7".
Like if we're talking about literally just this season, you could almost take Tom Brady out of it.
Yeah. Okay, let's change it. The past
And it's
5 to 8 years.
okay. So you have Rodgers, Brady,
Roethlisberger,
yeah.
Alex Smith.
No.
No. I don't even know why I was starting to think about. You were saying that, but I was trying to think of other people. Like I wasn't debating Alex Smith.
Let's see. Matt Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'd put Russ over Matt Ryan.
Yeah,
but
so
I'm
would
just, like,
I.
debating
I'm
if
just
Matt
saying- I'm
Ryan should be
saying
in the
other names.
conversation. Yeah, Phillip Rivers.
Andrew Luck.
Yeah, but Andrew Luck, like if you're
Does
doing
he
5
count
to
for
8
having
years,
Stafford.
Yeah.
no,
No. I can't say anything good about him anymore.
he's a stat patter.
Yeah.
What an insult.
I mean, he puts up his numbers. I'll give him that, and his team sucks too. So, but I'm just saying, like the only reason he looks like he threw for like 5,000 yards.
Yeah.
That one season, he's
The
only
difference
one of
is
6 guys to do so.
The
but
Seahawks suck, and Russell Wilson carries them. The
Yeah.
Lions suck. Stafford doesn't.
and Matthew Stafford's actually had look at Eric Ebron with Andrew Luck now.
Yeah.
and he was terrible with Stafford.
Yeah.
He had Megatron.
Stafford had Megatron. He
Yeah.
also had Golden Tate and Marvin Jones, and now Galladay. Like he's always got weapons.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'd put Russell Wilson in top 5 in the past 5 to 8 years.
I'd say if you're doing based off just this season, it's a little bit harder because like Mahomes is in the mix.
Yeah. Man, he's so fun to watch.
Oh wait, what?
What?
Oh,
Drew Brees.
that was
Oh.
Cliff Kingsbury's quarterback, by the way.
Was it?
Patrick Mahomes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Drew Brees.
Drew Brees, yeah, I can't believe we...
Sorry, who?
So, yeah,
So
I'd put Russell Wilson 5 then.
okay.
Yeah.
I can accept that. He's been in the league since what 2012?
2012.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the same year as Luck.
Mm-hmm.
But Luck's been out for how
Draft.
many years?
Yeah.
Over the body of work, I just don't think you can put him above Luck.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well-
one has a Super Bowl, been to 2,
Right.
should have won 2.
Yeah.
Literally 1 yard away from 2.
Mm-hmm.
And coaching.
All
Yeah.
right. Well.
Before we end up,
Yep.
I just wanted to mention that Pitt got an ACC win.
Yeah.
We don't
who'd they
talk
play?
basketball on the show, but
Who'd they play?
We should.
Louisville. It was
Oh,
the first
wow.
time they beat Louisville since 2010.
Yeah. 89, 86 in overtime. They had 79 points going into overtime. Even had that game not gone into overtime, that's the most points they would have scored in an ACC game in like at least 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was their last win since 2016 in the ACC.
Right.
I would like to try and start getting into like pit basketball, but I just can't. I can't. Get
I
into
mean, this would be the
basketball
time to buy in
Yeah.
because these guys are going to
Jump on
they're all
jump on the
freshmen
train now.
Yeah,
That Trey McGowan's.
he's
McGowan's?
33.
Yeah.
Should we go to a game?
It'd be fun.
Yeah. Well, can't go against Duke.
Yeah, it's sold out.
through the roof.
Yeah, that's that game's on. It's nationally
ESPN
televised
now,
now.
yeah.
Another stupid question: should we go to a Buffalo Sabres game?
What the?
Shut up.
I mean, didn't we talk about this last year?
We did because
Yeah.
they sucked and they were super cheap. but now
Only
they're
if they
good.
wear their alternates.
Ooh.
Only if they get those jerseys that were concept.
Those shouldn't be concepts. Those should just be their permanent jerseys.
Did you guys see the ones they
Right.
had in that like team skills competition or whatever it was, or like the kids practice day?
Mm-hmm.
Those were so nice.
Also, voting ended today for the last man in.
Mm-hmm.
That's
They didn't
an
release
all-star
the
game.
results yet, did they?
No.
No, Letang better be in. I voted
Him
for
and
him.
Riley.
See.
I voted for him 10 times a day, every day.
Him and Riley better get in.
We shall see. Well, alrighty. If you guys don't have anything else,
No.
Nah.
well, wraps up the show. So as always, if you are still watching on Twitch, thank
Somehow.
you for grinding it out. If you're for some reason watching but not following, please hit that follow.
This show is shorter than last week.
Wow. If you're listening somewhere else, head on over to Twitch,
Like Finland.
hit the follow. And also you can get notifications every single time that we go live, so you can come in and hang out while we're doing this. But subscribe to us wherever you are listening. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. And we will talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Yo, yeet.
Walking in the back door,